And we are back with winners finals here in Top Cut of the July Low Ink, bringing you Avalanche versus Radiance. This is actually a rematch from yesterday in round 6 of Swiss, not round Swiss.
Round Swiss. That's a big round.
These two teams played. Avalanche lost to Radiance 1-2. In fact, this is the only team to beat Avalanche so far. Radiance is undefeated, so a good rematch for what promises to be an exciting and easily the best winners finals you have ever seen in your entire life, Owen.
Absolutely. This should be a really good winners finals, especially consider this is the only other winners finals that we had. The only other one we had was in June, because we have not done double elim before now.
And we're going to be starting off with Rainmaker at Skipper Pavilion. When this map and mode was streamed yesterday, Splatter Swim elected to use 3 Sploosh 7s and a Nouveau Tri-Slosher. How many Sploosh 7s do you think we're going to see in this matchup?
That's a hard one. How about 0?
0, wow.
I don't think we're going to have a repeat of that. We don't have either team here.
Yes, and I don't think we're going to see one from the side of Avalanche, as their comp has been pretty consistent up to this point.
No sploosh at all. So we get a tent and a bamboozler, though, from the side of... I can't remember the name.
The Radiance.
Radiance, yes, thank you.
The number 2 overall seed in this top cut here, as they do get the opening pop and look to push up with a couple of picks here. Excuse me as I burp on some gummies. But here comes what could be another huge push here, or a big opening push here for Radiance. But once again, the Forge Pro for Avalanche is still alive. The Forge Pro is getting several huge picks in the last Rainmaker game we saw.
That tent's just going to get stuck and go straight down as Radiance gets pushed out of their base by Avalanche. Avalanche gets ready to counter push here. And that point sensor again being used on that H3. Afraid of more roller flanks, maybe?
Having flashbacks, nightmares, mind you, back to the game against the Bunnies. We see the H3 being the last player left alive here for Avalanche, as Radiance with a huge opening push. And honestly, that score of 36 remaining is enough to win with on this map. You can't go through the uninkable through mid and take a lead. You're going to have to go through this route Radiance is taking right now as they look to extend their lead here. But the H3 getting a huge pick on the Rainmaker, with this Inkjet being the last one alive, but the Inkjet getting on several kills as well before it goes down.
Picks but the Inkjet does just go down as soon as it lands, as Avalanche was ready for them, and Avalanche will start to clean up.
Yeah, Avalanche is going to have to find a way to get control of mid here, and having 2 players go down on the side of Radiance is going to help that cause a lot. Oh, but the H3 with a beacon behind them. And actually, I think somebody jumped to that beacon and got the kill there. That sneakiness of that beacon behind the wall paying off for Radiance, as they are able to hold on to mid as we approach the halfway mark.
You don't think of those beacons very often, but they're there and they can do a lot of damage if you don't take care of them.
Yeah, coming up from the vanilla Tentabrella, which is something you don't see too often. Most of the times you see the camo one with Hammer and Ink Mine, so with that beacon's working out really well for Radiance's favor right now. But they won't be able to put down any more as long as the Tentabrella holds the Rainmaker right here, looking to just get a few picks and keep control of this flat area that is on the side of Avalanche, who's having a lot of difficulty getting to mid.
Absolutely, that Inkjet's going to come out and try to get Radiance out of there from Avalanche, but it doesn't look like it had much effect, unfortunately. And Radiance is just going to continue being dominating and playing the same lockout game that Avalanche was playing last set. They do down here. This is going to be Avalanche's chance to start undoing that lockdown and getting this game back.
As they pick up the Rainmaker for the first time. With Bubbles ahead, they're taking that route that they need to take to get lead. They're just going to have to find a way to get some more kills. They already brought down the end zap from the side of Radiance, but you see Beam here, who already has 12 KA. Can they get the last pick there? They stall it just before lead gets across there. And Custom the last one alive, so this is
a wipe. That's going to be a wipe.
So close to getting the lead was Avalanche there with that one pick. But they might get some confidence from that push there that could eventually lead to another win. 3 players going down, but the Rainmaker is going to reset. However, Avalanche is still going to be in position here, as you see Custom holding down the area the Rainmaker needs to get to. If they can just find a way, they do!
They got the lead! Oh my word, they got splatted immediately after, but they took the lead with that wipe. Those kind of pushes, how I've said, this could be a big push, this could be a big push. Well, this just did turn into a big push because of that.
And it's not over as they're threatening the KO now with less than 30 seconds left to go. They do pop the Rainmaker.
Oh, how did he stay alive that long?
I have no idea. He was getting pelted all left and right. But this, a huge lead for this map. It's so hard to KO on this map. And it's
in 10 seconds, Radiance is going to have to go for the overtime, effectively knockout. Oh, okay, this is going to be a challenge. Alright, so Radiance is going to play carefully here. Obvious reasons, they lose the Rainmaker, and there it is. Alright, we'll just drop that rant.
Played about as careful as they could, but Avalanche there with played better in the last minute, and that's all they really needed to win the game. So a nice win by Avalanche, even though the KAs are heavily in the favor of Radiance there, especially with Beam getting a lot of kills with that Octo shot.
Just like with at the end of a turf war game or anything like that, all it takes is one good push, and you have that game. It's over.
All it takes is your team getting wiped. So, so now we're moving on to Splat Zones at Kelp Dome, and a very awkward Splat Zones map. The awkwardness coming from the fact that so many specials just don't work on this map with the greats blocking a lot of
those. Rain, that does fine, but Inkjet, that can be a problem with your movement ability.
Splashdown can be awkward if you get underneath the grates. Missile can be stopped by grates. Booyah bombs can get caught on rails. But especially with this current meta we're in, Ink Armor never fails. But teams are just going to have to find a way to cap the zone with their weapons instead of relying on their specials to help them out most of the time, at least.
It looks like Avalanche is ready to go, but Radiance is second-guessing what they want to do. Potentially, or they're just strategizing. Hopefully the latter.
Yeah, at this point, I think we can pretty much predict what Radiance's or Avalanche's comp is going to be. They're going to use the H3 of some sort. They're going to use that Forge Pro, which bubbles are going to work out really well here. They're going to use the N-Zap with armor, and then they're going to use an Inkjet. So,
absolutely, this should be a good match here. Straight into it.
It'll be interesting to see if we see that Tenta Umbrella coming back out, because Tenta could work out well here. We do see a Booyah Bomb coming out with from Avalanche, so instead of the N-Zap, they do the Kinsa 52 and go back to the more traditional H3.
They do have armor, that's good. For a second, I thought they just dropped armor and was wondering what they were thinking.
No, they definitely still got it. Oh, and it's working out to their advantage here. As they use the armor to get control of the map here. Eventually, yes, they got several kills. Just had difficulty getting control of the map because it's such an awkward zone to paint. But the opening push does go in the favor of Avalanche.
Actually, it went in the favor of Radiance, Popgun.
Did it?
Yeah, Radiance green. Now Avalanche is getting their push. Avalanche looks like Avalanche did.
No. This is Radiance. It's
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Radiance is purple. Avalanche is green.
All right,
So
now
Radiance has the lead. Yeah, the RM custom is what threw us off there.
All right, there we go. Yeah, because that's what I saw. All right, yeah. So now Radiance is gonna go ahead and take the zone.
And they're holding on to it very well here. And with 2 players down, this could eventually lead to a possible KO here from Radiance.
Down. Quick knockout.
You see Violet checking the back door since flanks do come. Violet is waiting for a flank to come. It is taking care of the players that are just feeding over the wall there. So
yeah, it's just a lot of feeding from Avalanche here. You cannot do that if you want to win. Easy knockout for Radiance. We'll see if they can correct that in the next game.
And Radiance showed that they knew how to play this map and mode, even though this isn't something you see too often. You saw Violet constantly checking for that flank to come around the back door, and was able to take care of any kind of threat that was thrown their way. So, played very well from Radiance as they tie up this winter finals at 1 apiece.
Well, Kelp Dome's not a very played map very often, just because of the fact that the community doesn't like it. I think it's a good idea to have it played on the various modes. It's part of the game, so there's not really a problem playing it, in my opinion. But either way, we're going to move on to another map that people don't really like very much. We're going straight to Clan Blitz on Camp Triggerfish.
Well,
long snaking path.
This would be a good map if we see some Stingrays coming out. We have seen Stingray be used by Avalanche before, but it did come from the vanilla sloshing machine, of all things. With Radiance, they've been going. Oh, actually, they didn't go anchorless. They had a remix in that last game. We just didn't get to see the remix much from the spectator cam. So Radiance has shown that they have an ability to use a wide variety of comps. And that's probably why they're taking more time to ready up here, as opposed to Avalanche that pretty much just switches 1 or 2 things and immediately goes at it.
Yeah, and that ability to switch comps and adjust to whatever situation you're facing is critical to winning in an environment like this, where you're not just playing one game. If you're able to adjust to whatever the opponents are doing, you have a far better chance of winning, because you can just go and counter what they're doing.
Yes, Radiance 9-0 so far in this tournament for a reason, as they look to go up in this series 2-1 with a win here at Clam Blitz Triggerfish. And we do see the Tintabrella coming back out again.
There's a on the other side to counter it,
as well as a Grim Range Blaster, an interesting pick from Radiance.
We'll see how that plays out. They're going to go ahead and take that elbow right off the bat and try to move from there. So far, so good with that pair up. Sniper does... No, that's actually the tent that goes down. And Grim is going to move way up here.
Yeah, moving way up. Oh, and is saved from having to fall into the water and dies with actual honor to the ACAP there. Clan economy heavily in the favor right now of Radiance, and we did talk about Stingray. They do have Stingray in the form of a Splat Charger. However, 2 players immediately going down for Radiance, as Bubbles coming out for Avalanche. So this should be a pop, if not more out of that. If you keep in mind, Hoenn, the last time we saw Avalanche do Clan Blitz, they absolutely...
I was about to bring that up, yeah. Avalanche does really well with Clan Blitz. They know what they're doing for Clan Blitz, so this should be a good game.
Yeah, every time Avalanche has been streamed doing Clan Blitz in this tournament, it's ended in a KO for them. As they get the quick pop in the first minute and 30 seconds here, but don't get too many clams. In fact, they don't get any clams to follow up their pop with. And now momentum is on the side of Radiance, who is using bubbles combined with Stingray. That's going to be a very difficult push to stop.
Wow! By that snipe, what a snipe from the Bamboozler.
The Bamboo shot through the bubbles around the tent umbrella to get the nice pick there that ends what would have been a good push for Radiance. A nice pick by Avalanche as they now look to get control of mid with the Bamboo having missiles ready. However, 2 players going down for Avalanche and Radiance with a lot of clams to work with as they try once again to sneak in for a score.
And is the Bamboo going to stop it this time? No, they are not. The Bamboo instead goes down. Quite unfortunate. That was a close hit too. And it's going to mostly take down Radiance there and give momentum back to Avalanche, who's going to go ahead and push up. And and got behind the sniper. Excuse me.
The sniper caught a little bit out of position. Probably didn't hear the call out from their teammate that the NZAP was right there. So control of mid going to Avalanche as they do have clams ready. They do have the lead just because both pushes have been pretty weak. But here comes a heavy push. It's going to be difficult to stop the bleeding here if you're Radiance. As one more power clam's trying to come in, and there it goes underneath 40, and this push is still going to keep going.
32, it's still going. Here comes Custom with more clams, and he's going to get a few in and take the score down to 20. The last one up is Forge Pro, and he doesn't appear to be around here, so that's going to end the push. But what a push it was!
Yes, damage done against Radiance. But a lot of players did go down for the side of Avalanche if Radiance is able to kind of get control of mid there, and they do get the pick on the NZAP, and with the Ray coming out here, another player goes down, so Radiance putting themselves in position, but the bubble player dies before being able to open that tent and use bubbles. They're going to need that tent if they want to get a push going.
They're just going to have to shark around here and try to see what they can do in the interim, probably fall back. They do get that pick on the Forge who was pushed up, and they got the Inkjet going, so there is some here. They could do something here. It depends. Inkjet getting a nice pick there, but it's not looking to be enough. But here comes the bubbles now with a pair of power clams, and the power clams did not follow.
Yes, but the clan economy heavily in the favor of Radiance. However, that they're having a lot of difficulty keeping their Tenna player alive. It seems like every time Radiance is in a position to push, their Tenebrel player has bubbles ready and is ready to move, but just dies before anything can accumulate.
That shield. That is why you have the. That's why they have the Bamboo on their comp. Just watch, see. Just right there, a perfect example. Thank you.
And the Tenatech able to follow up with the kill on the player as well. This one should be going to overtime because there is a clam blitz on the side of Radiance, but they're going to need more than just one power clam to take a lead back here, and they're going to have to do something really quick because overtime.
Yeah, looks like someone's flanking in with 9 as well, so we may have a flank here. Yep, we have a flank in for the KO.
But no, this is Avalanche. That's good. Yes.
Yeah, that is the knockout.
And that was the last player
game.
That was the last player left alive too. So Radiance lets one player slip behind and end the game by popping the basket. A sneaky play there by Avalanche, who once again shown that Clam Blitz is their jam.
Oh, geez. Clam Blitz can be so difficult to play. Seeing someone play it so well, that's absolutely amazing. I could not be happier about that.
So the underdog Avalanche, who has lost in Swiss to Radiance, now up 2-1. And as you look at the maps that are remaining, if you're Avalanche, you got to be thinking, okay, Erwana Maw Tower Control, cool. But if we lose this one, we got Black Belly Skate Park around the corner. This is going to be a difficult set for Radiance to win at this point.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
But first, they're going to have to overcome Tower Control at Erwana Mall. that checkpoint down in the valley is really the key to winning this map. It's such a difficult checkpoint to get past. And what it's going to come down to is who can control their bridge, which is on the left side of your defending map, because that is the key area you got to control to make pushes happen here.
Yeah, if you can control that area on the enemy side when you're pushing forward, the enemies are pretty limited as to what they can do, and that can allow you to clear that key checkpoint, and that could be it. It really could.
So once again, Avalanche readied up extremely quickly. Radiance with more spending, electing to use the entire time here to try to figure out what it is they want to do. Maybe try to calm themselves down, because this is the first time in the entire tournament where they've been on the losing side, I believe, or with their backs kind of against the wall here. So we'll see how they respond as we head into Airwana Mall tower control.
Are we going to get a 52 deco here? I believe I heard a mention in chat. We are! The side of Avalanche, the 52 deco comes out right away, and we'll see how well that goes. We also got the bamboo out again. Not bamboo could work here.
Yeah, Archer with the remix here. It's going to come down to if Radiance can keep Archer alive, especially on that part of the map, which is so critical for getting pushes going on the side of Avalanche. As you see Archer trying to get a pick on the Forge and lock down this left side of the map while their teammates try to get control of the right side of the map where the bamboo is locking it down for the side of Avalanche.
And bamboo is going to have to fall back because of these missiles and counter missile onto the tower and into the middle zone along with the Booyah Bomb. Again, that bridge heavily contested. So.
Yeah, Radiance has a good comp to defend pushes from. They got 2 Booyah Bombs, they got missiles which are going to force players off the tower. So if Radiance can find a way to get past that first checkpoint, but now they're going to have to play a little bit of defense here as the tower is getting pushed to their checkpoint.
It looks like they are going to make use of the fact that bridge has not been taken to defend here.
Yeah, Radiance
going to force the tower back. Avalanche is falling up, but they're just going to take that fall back anyways. It looks like they get a nice pick on that bamboozler there, but it's the Tensa going to survive this? No, they are not. But they do get 3. And maybe the wipe here? Yes, they do get the delayed wipe. So yes, this will be a big push. They have to go take bridge now.
And yeah, you see Custom immediately locking down the bridge and is able to throw bombs from that area. All players actually on the bridge for Avalanche. But the Booyah Bomb actually placed. And since the bamboo was behind the wall, couldn't see the Booyah Bomb coming in. So lead will go to Radiance here. But if they want to really secure this lead, they need to find a way to get past this checkpoint. And with 2 players going down and another one jumping out, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But still lead, temporarily at least, going to Radiance as we cross the halfway point.
It's close. It's going to be close. I like that.
Now throwing specials into the side of Radiance's base as they look to get a push going here. But one player immediately going down with the T-Tech.
That's down. They're all gonna go up on that bridge. Most of them were at least. And here comes the Booyah Bomb on the bridge as they attempt to once again clear that checkpoint. Heavy moving up and getting that key pick there as they attempt to get them off window.
Oh yes, you see
heavy flank.
You see the heavy and the bamboo getting into a 1v1 battle for the bridge area over there. The bamboo going down, so here we go once again. Radiance gonna be approaching this checkpoint again. They already have lead, but if they can get past that second checkpoint, it's gonna make things so much less stressful for them in this last minute and 30 seconds. And it looks like they're going to do just that without losing a single player.
Wow. And here comes the third checkpoint as well. Archer, just lots of pressure on that bamboo, keeping him from doing much of anything. The bamboo does go down. However, the tower does get stopped by Avalanche, who gets wiped. This is a major push. If this is not it, this is a major push.
Yes, and with 1 minute left to go here, Radiance trying to get past this final checkpoint. They're having difficulty doing so, but more importantly, they're just trying to bleed out the clock here, and they're keeping the tower on Avalanche's side of the map, so that's working out really well in their favor. There's just a lot of things Avalanche has to do to win this game, and right now it's getting tower back to mid, and they're having a lot of difficulty doing that, but they are getting some picks here finally with 30 seconds left to go.
They just got to get these picks and get going. They've got 30 seconds to do it.
So there you go, the Bamboo and the Remix trading, but once again, Radiance has a lot of specials they can use to work with. They do have this is Avalanche that has the Booyah Bomb being used there, getting taken down with the Bamboo, the last player alive. It looks like this is going to be it.
This is going to be it. Avalanche is going to have to go to game 7. 5, not 7. We're not quite to 7 yet. Game 5 to close this set out. Winner goes to grand finals. But to get there, we'll have to go through Black Belly Skate Park.
Clam Blitz at Black Belly Skate Park. So once again, if you're Avalanche, even though you didn't get a lot of skate,
but it's Clam Blitz on Black Belly, so that's good for Avalanche based on how they've been doing.
Yes, I think they're fine with losing that tower control game, because as we've seen, this is the map, or at least this is the mode that they have been the most dominant on across both games that we've been streaming from them. So, but if you're Radiance and you got more weapons in your pocket that you can pull out here, let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to be making. Are they going to try to? We saw them use the Stingray scope last time, but that was on Camp Triggerfish. The Stingray might not work out too well here on Black Belly, so they might bring out that Tenta again, combined with a more aggressive comp to try to match that of Avalanche's.
If Tents, I think they might go Bamboo and Tent again. That they worked pretty well, and depending on Clam Blitz, it may still be wise to bring Tent in regardless. And again, you may have something more aggressive, not just Tent, even though it's Clam Blitz, just because of how Black Belly Skate Park is with the ability to flank, the fact that it's not super closed in routes.
Yes. With this map, it can kind of come down to who can control the tower in middle the most. So that might play into a factor of what Radiance decides to use here as far as their comp wise. But with Avalanche, we pretty much know what they're going to do. They've already readied up. They know what they're going to do.
They're ready for this. They're ready.
They are. And I'm ready as well for the decisive Game 5. Winner moves on to Grand Finals. Loser gets to go down to the redemption bracket, which we will give you an update on after this match, I'm assuming. See how things are going there.
We'll be going to look at the losers finals, actually.
Did you say there was a DC? Okay. My sources are telling me that there was a DC on the side of Radiance, and yes, there was.
So they're just going to go ahead and do that, but actually, Avalanche did not go with the Tent or Bamboo, which is interesting.
My question to you is, Hoenn, they don't have to use the same weapons, do they? Since the game...
That depends. I didn't see the DC occur. Did that occur before it started. If it did start before,
it happened in the lobby. So in theory, that could have been.
Is the question, because the differentiator, technically, according to the rules, is when battle time appears, weapons are same time. Okay, that's a tough call. Okay, give me a sec.
That's if Radiance didn't want to use K-Pro there, but obviously the advantage would be if they weren't going to use K-Pro, that they just kind of forced Avalanche to show their cards and kind of know what comp they were going to use and then adjust to it. But I mean, on the flip side, you should pretty much know what to expect from Avalanche anyways in that kind of situation.
We're gonna hold this for a sec while I go ahead and get a opinion on this to make sure. See if they need to use the same weapons or gear, and so of course the disconnected player can rejoin.
While he's doing that, I'll give you guys a little update on the losers bracket. The Bunnies have beat Xanadu 2-1, and the West Broadway Grillers are currently tied with Symphony 1-1. This is round 4 of the losers bracket. So whoever between the Grillers and Symphony wins, they will play the Bunnies. In a game that we probably won't have time to get to. It might start before we get an opportunity to get into that one. After that, whoever wins between the Bunnies versus the winner of Grillers and Symphony will play the loser of this game you are about to watch in the losers finals, and we will be able to stream that one. And then of course the winner. Oh, yes. Hello.
It appears that I am remembering an older version of the rules. I did double check them. The rule nowadays is you can change weapons and gear as...
I don't know if you talked or not, but you got to cut out there. Helen? There were no rules. We are live, right? Okay. Hoenn kind of disappeared there as he was explaining the rules.
We're so sorry for this. But I can't believe Hoenn's dead.
Okay, well the game is starting. So we're I guess we're just gonna go ahead and go here. And honestly, the player that joined was my B or the B. I honestly can't remember who the player that DC'd was. But what kind of weapons are we going to see coming out here? We see a slosher coming out of the K-Pro, so I'm assuming that is legal from their side, or Avalanche might not care because they're going to use the same comp anyways. So here we go. With about 10 seconds into the game, you see Archer popping armor here, and that's going to work out well with the Nautilus with the Inkjet, but with the armor coming out early, the Inkjet's not going to be ready as two players immediately go down for Radiance. Make that 3, although a Trey does come out. So Avalanche here with 2 players left alive, and a lot of clams between those 2 players. They just have to pass 1 clam to each other. They do manage to do just that. So with the power clam ready to go, but all the players with Radiance are now back in action and have an opportunity to defend their goal here as they do just that, taking out the NZAP.
Looks like that push did not end up working, unfortunately. Came back in just seeing it, unfortunately, be blocked. But that's excellent for Radiance. We'll see if Avalanche can do it again, and we'll see what Radiance is cooking up here.
It's 2 players going down for each side in this decisive game 5. Claim economy in the favor of Avalanche here, as you see Custom pushing up, trying to get into position to make a push happen, getting a kill on the NZAP. But now you see some flanks trying to go through mid here, but mid being locked down. Radiance doing a pretty good job of keeping this push out, or at least as long as they can.
They did a pretty good job, but here comes the bubbles. And a bunch of clams going straight in, down to 50 points. Took off half of that count, so not a bad push at all. Now this gives Radiance a chance to get in, and they're going to go straight for that basket.
Yeah, Radiance was keeping them delayed, but that delay only bought time for Avalanche to build up the specials they need. But now you see all 4 specials ready to go for Radiance, as we see Baller coming out from that Slosher Deco, immediately gets popped, along with Ink Armor and Tinta Missiles, so the Inkjet last one being popped here now. All these specials coming out for Radiance, but that's
and they do get one pick with the Inkjet. The Inkjet does get a pick, and gets picked immediately after with the flank coming in the back to take out that Slosher. What an excellent play there by Avalanche.
Avalanche getting the wipe despite all 4 specials being popped at the same time by Radiance. Avalanche couldn't care less, and now they're getting ready to go in for their second push. This is the clan.
Bubbles out. Do they even have a power clam though? I do not think they have a power clam actually.
They do
No,
not.
they do now. Ooh, nice pick there. And they're going to go ahead and open the scoring on the second push, excuse me. And they get a wipe! I didn't even notice that. Taking it down to 31, 28, and counting. And to get more clams here from mid. And quickly try to get back in there to keep that basket open. But they're going to have to back off.
A wise back off there by Jack, realizing they weren't going to get into weren't going to get to the basket in time. So instead of just rushing in and died for nothing, it's decided to back off, and now they have another power clam ready to go, along with Bubbles at their disposal, and another.
And there's the first pick, and they're going to go right in off of that. One pick and go is how they've been going, and it's worked. It does go down to that Slosher there by the Bubbles, but he does immediately get picked off as they go to score more points. 20, 16, 13, and counting. Only 13 points, only a few clams. But they do basically get wiped here. It's only the Forge Pro trying to buy time. That Forge Pro charged in.
That power clam jumped in and just barely missed. That would have ended the game for Avalanche right there, but instead this game will continue. However, Radiance with a huge mountain they got to climb with about 40 seconds left to go, and they basically
get started.
88 points if they want to get the lead here.
They best get started if they want to have a shot here.
They need to get a lot of picks. They do have their specials once again. Ink Armor coming out, popped at the same time as Baller. So this Baller's not going to have Ink Armor to work with, even though they're in the middle of the fight
first
here.
Score and a jump in for the second. Nah, which second was actually in the back, and that's going to go down for an effective wipe here with 8 seconds left. And I don't think there's a power clam ready, so this looks like Avalanche is going to go to our grand finals.
So there we go. Avalanche surviving, using the power of Clam Blitz at their disposal to win. And as you said, move on to grand finals. Radiance, taking their first L of the entire tournament, will now be guaranteed a spot in losers finals. And Owen, it's good to have you back. Let me just say.
Thank you. I'm not sure what happened. Everything just stopped.
But there, basically, you were going to say that DC didn't affect the change because they used the Slosher instead of Cape Pro, I'm assuming.
I actually was just going to go ahead and say that the DC teams were allowed to change their gear because the DC rules changed a bit between this month and last month. I remember we corrected it. I just haven't had to apply them yet, so I don't have it memorized. But it's no longer the battle time alert because that's a bit ambiguous. It's now when it says go, when the timer starts ticking. At that point, the weapons and gear are locked.
Okay, so since they spawned only 3 players at the beginning,
they were allowed to change gear and weapons, and I did let them know, though I'm not sure if they took advantage of that. But we did what we could, and it is final.
So there you go. Well, it didn't affect Avalanche in the end. They won, so it worked out for them. We're going to take a break. Avalanche is going to sit tight in grand finals and wait for things to kind of clear out, and we are going to start giving you some loser final stuff. You are watching Low Ink in July.